Loki's abilities in Marvel Rivals. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. We are ramping up coverage, especially going into the last, 2 weeks? 2 weeks until the game goes live. I'm pretty excited for it, but yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get access to the game. And as I said in the previous video, obviously make sure to subscribe to the channel, by the way, as we cover lots of stuff. But also, make sure, if anybody's out there that is gaining access to the game and could link up, just to kind of provide some gameplay if I'm not able to get in, that would just be brilliant. You know, I'd like to kind of like cover stuff, but we'll see with stuff. Any case, I wanted to cover a very interesting thing. Shout out to Miller Ross. This is from a Twitter thread, which is this one right here, which is basically him breaking down Loki's abilities, and this is just based on what we saw in the last few days. Of course, I did a video about this, but it was interesting that basically all the abilities have been broken down, and you can get a real sense and just like feel for what this character is going to be about. I think more so because this will be the support, this will be the healer in your team, so you're like, this is going to be so important to know more about this character, and of course kind of figuring out where you're going to be, how you're going to assist your fellow teammates. So the first of all, LMC, I don't know if that's like left mouse click, mystical missile, magic missile, fire mystical missiles to heal allies or deal damage to enemies. So yeah, it's like you fire at your allies and heal them. I mean, it makes perfect sense. But yeah, like or fire, like you can help out. It's tough really because you have to understand flow of battle. You also have to understand where your tank is going to be in all this, or your or just help out in general. But you've got to look who's going to be your tank. Like, is Groot going to be your tank? Like, you make sure you're going to keep them healed constantly. Moving on, right mouse click, deception, become invisible and conjure an illusion to deceive enemies. So you can see this in action right here, and this is it's kind of like duping the Black Panther, which is going for that duplicate. So at least you can do that and get away from trouble, because that's the thing, you're meant to be like, people probably say like, oh, you know, you're just being a bit of a coward, a bit of a pussy. And the fact is, it's in the nature of the character, and it's in the nature of the play of the hero to be in that nature. So yeah, like, I don't think anybody can really be too critical about the way of play, because you might be like, well, I'll deceive, I'll go invisible, I'll conjure the illusion, and then I'll run away, and then I'll set myself up somewhere else and start healing allies. The main thing is, you will be a target. If you're a healer in all this, you will be a target for enemies. They'll be like, we're going to take down the healer. The same thing like World of Warcraft. Like, okay, that guy's that's the healer for the group. We'll kill the healer and no one can heal. We're going to target them. So run away and live to fight another day. I think that's going to be the kind of the main point about that one. So E, when you click E, it is project an illusion that can cast some of Loki's abilities. That's handy because you might be like, in that scenario, let's cast in over the other side. And it can be quite handy then to have like this double pincer movement of healing. You can see in this particular little breakdown from that was put out. Like, as the cast is going, you see he's casting over to the other side. And because you've got there, you can also swap between the positions and the points. But imagine that you're kind of there, both kind of like rapid healing into pincer movements onto your allies down below, or even attacking. You could be attacking on a particular enemy. Like, say, right up in the top right-hand corner, you've got an Iron Man there, an enemy Iron Man. Like, attack them, you know? As they're focusing down, it's a 2-on-1 focusing on that particular engagement. Strategies, you can tell I love strategies when it comes to stuff like this, and I think a lot of people that have played Overwatch in the past kind of identify strategies, especially if you're linking together and talking with your comrades, then at least you can get a bit of an idea of like who's doing what. Devious engage. So with this, swap with selected illusions. So I suppose it's the same thing with what we saw before, which is like you can teleport around and get yourself out of danger, and the fact is to be Again, it's literally be a little bit cowardly, but it's run away, live to fight another day. And it could be really beneficial to be like away from it all to kind of get a bit of perspective of what's going on with the fight. I think a lot of people are going to be very interested and also excited by playing Loki, and especially playing in that support role to aid allies. This, I think, is going to be one of the biggest things, and that is the left shift button, regeneration domain. Use runestones to create a magical field that converts damage taken by allies within its radius into healing energy. So that could really turn the battle, especially if it looks like it's going in a bad direction. One thing in particular, we did actually cover this a little bit more, but the way that I think you saw when I did the coverage previously in the other video, was that this particular player here, which will just get an arrow on, this particular player here is taking damage quite rapidly. There's also another Loki there, but I don't know if this is a doppelganger or not version, or it could be, yeah, it could be like another doppelganger, so you can get like another version up. The healing wave goes in, and again we're seeing the health there, and the health goes up like to a degree where the health is topped right up, like it's back up to these health bars kind of back up to their normal state. So impressive, and really good that you can do that. You could be that driving force to change the tide of the battle. God of Mischief, shapeshift into a targeted ally or an enemy hero and use all the hero's abilities. That's amazing. Do you know what this does? This gives me hope that they could bring in a character like Mystique. I play a game called Marvel Contest of Champions, and they've struggled to get in Mystique as a character. And this kind of stuff makes me feel like this is fantastic. You can literally do what Mystique would do. Same with Morph. So it gives me so much hope that this game has such an expansive universe and abilities, hero interaction. That could just be really, really fun for any Marvel fan, and kind of give Marvel fans and Marvel Games fans like the ideal situation, what they would like from a game for the future, especially for one that could be very much a free to play PvP with maybe PvE experience that is lacking at the moment. So shout out to Miller Ross on this one. And just on some final notes from him, he says that use Deception and Doppelganger to create illusions, boosting his damage and healing, deploying Regeneration Domain to shield endangered allies, and self from Demise. So it's part of that. God of Mischief can shapeshift into an enemy or ally, instantly unleashing their ultimate abilities to turn the tide. Love it. And he says, here's a little bonus. I don't know if the skill was cut during development or it only shows up during specific circumstances, but here it is regardless. Backstab. Pull out a dagger to stab enemies, dealing extra damage with backstabs. That's cool. That's very cool. And I hope there's more. He says like it's a little tougher for characters that have less footage though. Right, okay. Hopefully there's more in the future. But yeah, very, very exciting. I've really, really enjoyed kind of like understanding more about Loki, and also understanding his kind of like place in it all as to like what he could do. Very excited to learn more about some of these characters coming very soon. What are your thoughts on Loki? Put it in the comments section, and as well, I'll see you in the next Marvel Rivals video.